Welcome to Tribute to Women, Shining On. Join us as we look back throughout the years of this paramount campaign established in 1992 by YWCA of Northeast Tennessee and Southwest Virginia. We welcome you to follow along as we highlight some of the women who have gone above and beyond to earn this award. We are incredibly honored to be able to have the opportunity to catch up and learn not only about their past achievements, but hear about what journeys these women are currently traveling. I'm Heather Smith, and thank you for joining us today.
All right.
Hello. Today, I have the opportunity to sit down with Miss Virginia Frank, who received the Tribute to Women Award in 2012 under the business category. Thank you so incredibly much for finding time in your busy schedule to sit down with me today.
Well, thank you, Heather. It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. Virginia, you were nominated by Wellmont Health System for your dedication and work as a healthcare administrator. Your leadership career in hospital operations spanned over 4 decades as you worked to maintain and build clinical programs such as cardiovascular and oncology services. With all of these accomplishments in mind, how did you feel when you learned you would be receiving YWCA's Tribute to Women Award?
Well, naturally, I was so honored to be recognized in this way. I received this award while I was working as the CEO of Holston Valley Medical Center. It was at the time, it was the pinnacle of my career. I mean, I have already worked over 35 years when I got there. And I received this award and was quite honored. I was not familiar with the YWCA, so it was my first introduction to the mission. As the award recipient, I was invited to a welcome luncheon and with other recipients for 2012, those that received the award that year. And this is where I was introduced to a group of diverse women that I had not and would not have probably been introduced to if I hadn't been given this award. And it was great to be with them. It was something that was the start of a lasting relationship with some of these women that I otherwise would not have encountered. So busy at work at the time because I was new to the community, and I had now found some women that I could relate to. Business women that were involved in working every day and also helping the community. And this meant a great deal to me, as I said, and I now had a sense of community, and it went a long way to making me feel at home in the Tri-Cities here. This is new to me. I was not brought up here, and now I felt more at home. I was no longer an outsider.
And it's so interesting that you bring that up, that you were so invested in your work that you may have never had an opportunity to meet these other amazing women,
right,
if not for the Tribute Award. And I think that could probably be said about a lot of our recipients. A lot of times these women are so incredibly dedicated and invested into their careers that it's amazing to have this opportunity to take a breather and network and meet all of these other amazing women. And as we had mentioned before, you received this award in 2012 under the nomination through Wellmont Health System. Would you care to tell us a little bit about where you were in your life when you had received this award?
Well, here I was in having to move to a different state, taking on a position that I just could not refuse. I was toward the end of my career. I knew that probably within 5 years, I was going to retire, but I just could not pass up this opportunity to be the first woman CEO. I was never a CEO in all those years. I was always sort of second in command. And this was my opportunity to finish my career at this level. And it was quite an opportunity, something that I could not pass up. And even though I knew I was going to retire probably in the next 5 years, I still came. I felt that the hospital could really use my expertise, and they were in dire need at the time for patient satisfaction issues, budget issues. And these were things that I had experience with. And I was afforded that opportunity to come and do it. And it was great. It was something that I'm so glad that I did. So
Absolutely. And it definitely sounds like, working and dedicating your life to the healthcare system and just ending on that high note and kind of getting that title of the first woman CEO at the hospital. That is so incredibly amazing to hear. And, just in general, your work and the way you speak of your work in the health system, it is so incredibly inspiring. And it's one definitely worth celebrating. The YWCA's mission is to empower women of all ages and to help set the path and inspire them to achieve any goal they might set their mind to. Can you tell me what or who it was that was the inspiration that has driven you to strive for all of these accomplishments?
okay, well, Heather, I will answer with who inspired me. I have to start and go back to my family. I was nurtured by a loving family, first and foremost by my mom, a strong role model who instilled the values I carry with me to this day, and a father who had the most amazing work ethic. On the professional side, I was empowered by a woman executive. Her name is Denny DeNarvis. You may have heard of her. She was the CEO of Wellmont at the corporate level. In 1989, while I was working at Florida Medical Center, Denny and I met. She was my first woman boss. And we started a relationship at that time, a work relationship that lasted 24 years. 24 years. She allowed me to grow. This was a very important piece of my professional career, a time that really spurred my career. And it was because she believed in me even more than I believed in myself. She gave me opportunity that I thought, oh, I could never do that. And I did. And she continued to do that. And we formed a partnership over 24 years across 4 states, building heart hospitals, building clinical programs for cardiovascular and oncology and spine. It's just too much to even relate. It was just so much that we accomplished together because she treated me as a partner, even though she was my boss. And all I wanted to do was make sure I did the best job ever. And that's so important to have a mentor like that. And I'm blessed to have had that. I could not have accomplished what I have accomplished in my professional career without Denny.
And that's so just amazing to hear that having that real well-rounded support system, the solid foundation of having a supportive family, and then growing up and having a mentor that is just has inspired you and has inspired you to pay it forward. That is amazing.
Exactly.
Amazing.
Even within even within over that 24 years, of course, that when I watched how she helped me, I wanted to help my team members, male and female, but just to make sure that I was helping those coming up through the ranks, helping them to grow also, because it meant so much to me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I personally have had the honor of coordinating projects with you. As the YWCA is not only lucky enough to have you serve on our governing board, but you are also playing a pivotal role in what the future holds for YWCA.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to hear a little bit more about your history with the YWCA, where that interest first started, and how you're helping to build the future of this organization.
Whoa, it's an amazing organization to start with. I started after my retirement. I needed something to do after my retirement. I had a lot of planning in my life, but I did not plan for the gap that would be in my life when I was not working every day, 24/7, on call, all of that. I don't want that back. I didn't want that back, but I needed to fill that gap. And so I thought back about my experience and my introduction to the YW. At that time, I didn't have the time to devote to an organization such as this, but I remembered the mission. I I was impressed with Kathy Walk. I met with her. Her leadership was amazing. The quality of her program managers, the staff, the dedication of so many community volunteers. So it definitely impressed me. I spent time, I actually, before I even went on the board, I spent almost a year spending time with each program manager to understand what they were doing for the community. And it was unbelievable. And so that gave me that initial interest. And then I wanted to join the board because I thought I could make an impact. And Kathy also, I have to go back to Kathy, she recognized what would be fulfilling for me. So she was at the time reorging, it was wonderful timing, reorganizing to enable the YW to expand to the region, to 31 counties in Southwest Virginia and Northeast Tennessee, but she had to now expand, and because of the urgent need that she was hearing from the community. And so that interested me also, of course, because I wanted to be able to make an impact and use my project management skills to help her with that. And so, you know, the programs that they have, these core programs that are quite amazing, affordable sliding scale childcare, the after school program for the middle school girls at risk, the teen pregnancy program. These were, it wasn't just empowering women, they're starting right at the ground floor, empowering children, families, teen girls. It's just quite amazing. And I was kind of struck by all of that, thinking this was just, oh, they're empowering women. Well, there was much more to it than that. That's how I was so impressed and became part of the board. I mean, that was my first initial, wow, I need to get involved with this organization. And then I was, probably after a year, I served on the board and have been on the board for the last 3 years. I was energized by the opportunities to help them make this impact on the lives of women and families and the communities. I accepted committee assignments and leadership where I felt I could make an impact, mostly project management. You know, I saw that I could make an impact in helping to reorganize the YWCA operation to be able to move forward with the core programs and bring them out to the region where they're also really needed. In for example, Southwest Virginia, and mostly many of the requests came from needing help with childcare. So that's really something that I felt I could make an impact there and help them, not to build childcare, a brick and mortar all over the region, but to bring our model to the region and work with community leaders in the region to build those programs that are so much needed there. So then that was one of the committees that I'm leading. And then I'm co-chair of the Capital Campaign Steering Committee. This is another major initiative that the YW is embarking upon, the Capital Campaign that will expand and double the capacity of childcare at the Bristol location and the Tech Girls. At any given time, we have so many numbers of families on the waiting list for these two programs. And so the need is there. And this speaks to the need, this waiting list speaks to the need, the reputation of the YW, the quality of its programs, and most importantly, the need to continue the legacy of support that the YW gives to the community. We need to raise funds to do that. And so I'm involved with that. And then most recently, the Tribute to Women little team that we're working on it's not a committee, a full committee, but it is a team that is working on raising funds for the YW for the operational programs and recognizing women for what they have accomplished, shining the light on them. So I'm working with Heidi Dulabon and Nancy Arnold on that.
And I always
That's pretty much
enjoy
what I'm doing.
I always enjoy so much hearing, your story as well as, Heidi's and just that kind of full circle and paying it forward. And, you are so incredibly inspiring, and I appreciate you speaking of, you not planning for that kind of gap for retirement. And, just trying to fill that spot and utilize your skills still even into retirement to help this organization, just move into the future.
So what I realized in reflecting back on this is that the reason I was attracted to the YW is that the missions are connected. All of my years of serving at the hospitals, the community hospital level, serving the patients. The patients are the reason the hospital exists. And so they are the priority. And the YW, at the YW, families, children, women, and the support of them are the reason the YW exists. And that's what we always have to keep in mind as we go forward.
Absolutely, absolutely. And, to kind of backtrack a little bit, we did walk similar paths. You see that mission statement of YWCA, empowering women, promoting peace, justice, and liberty for all. And then you come in here and become involved, and you see how deep that mission travels. Specifically, when you stated it starts with our childcare. It starts right there in that early stage of life. And we're helping to build that foundation and empowering these children at this young age. And, it's through the education we provide. And, just to wrap up a little bit, Virginia, I just want to personally thank you so much for joining me today and sharing your journey. You are just an absolute inspiration to others, and your light has shined so incredibly brightly. And for myself and all of us here at YWCA of Northeast Tennessee and Southwest Virginia, keep shining on.
Oh, thank you, Heather. Thank you for your kind words. It was my pleasure.
Thank you.
If you know someone who has shared their light and would like to honor or memorialize their impact, please visit the link below to submit a tribute. All donations go to support the vital programs of YWCA of Northeast Tennessee and Southwest Virginia. Thank you.